let's get into this. Background. So, this is an interesting one. Was there a moment or a sort of happy accident? And I got asked this before of that sort of got you into music. And when I was asked this, I couldn't remember when I didn't want to do music. But I'm going to let you try.
I'd say it's exactly that. It was inbred from birth to like music regardless. My dad's heavily into Motown, soul. Put it this way, Sam Cooke is my favourite singer because of my father. My father must have been playing it while I was in the womb with my mum. And I've just...
What's your favourite Sam Cooke song?
See, there's one called Comes Love that not a lot of people will know, but it's very jazzy, very upbeat. The message in the tune is basically saying, whenever you get your heart broken, tough. There's nothing that can be done. You just go on, roll on, love more.
Yeah, I was a big, because he was that Change is Gonna Come?
Change is Gonna Come, yes.
Is my favourite.
Revolutionary. Yeah, revolutionary. Same with my mum. My mum sort of like brought me up on, back in them days, it was like Whitney Houston, 5 Star. So always had music on. Yeah, exactly. And it was, I mean, she also had a passion for the likes of Elvis and Donny Osmond and whatnot. So it was like one of them.
I think your mum's the same age as me.
It was sort of like a rotation of tapes in the car on long journeys. When we used to travel from Gosport to Manchester or something, it was like, right, you've got the tape for an hour, you've got a tape for an hour, and this, that, and the other, and it was all good. I wouldn't say that I even went down the rock route, so to say. So I was purely R&B, soul, reggae. That is my teachings and upbringings. You know, when you get to that age of about 8, 9, where you starting on taking on your own personality, and instead of copying other people, you get your own passion.
Yeah.
My passion was given to me by my sister, who gave me Bob Marley's. It was a vinyl of Bob Marley's Positive Vibration, and I just couldn't stop playing it. Boom, boom. This is me now, and I wouldn't play anything but Bob Marley. Bob Marley was my idol from start.
So, at what point did that become a passion for the music, and then changed into I want to have a go at doing this?
It must have been youth club days. So early life, all my family's from Manchester. I've come down to Gosport for the Navy. Me and my sister was born in Portsmouth, so we were brought up here. Spent a couple of years to and fro in, but essentially brought up here in Bridgemary. And literally, the switch was a few friends, and we weren't deemed as troublemakers, albeit we got in trouble, but we weren't the makers of trouble all the time. But we used to, oddly enough, sing out on the street, rap other people's tracks mainly, and used to write a little bit, but never took anything serious. It was just a gathering of the lads, go and sing, and we did.
So where would you do that?
Bridgemary. Our core place was, if anybody knows it, around Cameron Close, there's this subway.
I know. So you used to go under the subway.
Under the subway.
And jam, basically.
Literally.
So it's basically like that, you know, the New York sort of all-round a brazier type of Billy Joel singing, but you were doing it.
It used to be.
Rap.
It used to be. Our guys were not bullies, put it that way, and I was probably the bulliest out of us all. But people used to walk down and then see that we were down there making a cadaffle, and literally turn back, and we were like, no, we're not like that. We're not like that. You come through. We'll all move out the way.
Yeah.
We're not ones for hassling
it's
or
lovely
gobby.
when that happens. A quick aside, I was going up to Bridgemary a few weeks ago, and I went under a subway, and I can't remember. And there was two little guys there playing guitar.
Yeah, okay.
And singing to each other, and they stopped the minute I came.
Yep.
I did the exact same. I went, no.
You carry on. Carry on.
It's wonderful to see that's not an easy thing to do, and you know, your confidence to do that. So that was your little spark.
Yeah, and we used to do. We're talking 15, 16 years old here now, and we used to do stupid things like carol singing. But when we went out carol singing for Christmas or something, we used to do, I don't know, Halloween songs, and just completely add a twist and get people cracking up on their doors. And it ended up giving us money, but we weren't even doing it for that. We were doing it more for the knock door stay, and see, instead of running off, you just knock door and then you just got to sing.
So there's that, and then obviously, because you would call yourself a musician now, yeah? I would call you, I know you're a musician. Yeah. So there's a little bit, and I'm always very interested in this myself. I mean, at what point there's a stage, you know, for the analogy is guitar. When I started playing guitar, I would say I was learning guitar. And then when I got a bit better, I would say I'm playing guitar.
Yep.
And then when I got really good, I'd say I'm a guitarist.
Yep.
And then when I started doing other stuff, I would say I was a musician. So there's like 4 steps between that spark. So at what point, when did it suddenly go, wait a minute, I'm a musician? I know, yeah.
Well, on the sidelines where my auntie was actually a pianist teacher.
Yeah.
So we had a piano in our hallway all our lives, mainly. And it was literally second nature to go and have a tinkle. However, it was not on a professional level. I did do, I think it was up to stage 6 or something on drums. On drums.
Was that rock school drumming, or was that would have been...
It was a guy called Drummond, which was odd.
Great.
That's how I remember his name. But used to do Holbrook Junior School. And I was good at it and I liked it and whatnot, but I never connected it to this. So while we were singing out on the open, we used to hang around on Bridgemerry Field. Back in the days, there was hundreds of views on there, and it did get a bit rough sometimes, but it was more everyone knew each other. And what happened is the youth club, shout out to John Carp Senior. John used to come out and literally urge us to come in and do the singing and recording with his son, John Carp Jr., and a couple of others, Ben Rouse. So we started doing exactly that. Instead of singing out on the thingy, it was, right, to youth club, let's go to practice.
Right.
And we just got up. I think we covered 9 tracks and done one of our own. Yeah, but we set up, or they set up all for us. It was all put out on the line for us, and they helped us out big style. And it's kind of one of the only reasons why I've gone back into youth work was because of this setup. And and it's not until later you appreciate, okay, if I could have gone down another road, a very big, nasty road.
I would argue that most musicians hit a fork in the road at some point.
Yep.
Because creativity is a weird thing, and it's about risk. It's about wanting to do something which is exciting. And so a lot of musicians, before they become musicians, if you look at the stories, it is like, I could have gone, I just want to be excited, right? I'll just go down that. So I get that there is a sort of tension between that wanting to do something creative and exciting, but it's a risk, and doing something which is also probably illegal and a risk. And so I think
it's exactly that.
Musicians do that, and then you found it.
Yep, and then we done 2 gigs, one in Southampton, a youth club again, and one in our own youth club.
Was this as a collective?
Yes, so there was 4 singers, let's say 2 rappers and 2 actual singers. Mark Sell was one, he's a local legend, he does a lot of singing all around, and had Rob Gregory and Olefawara Timmy. All of us basically together, we were collectively called Pure Silk, but later found out there was another band called Pure Silk, so we would have got done with the copyright. Yeah. So we did change our name then to, it started off as New Island Crew, because we saw ourselves in Gosport as completely isolated from the rest of the country, sort of like thing, as in, we're down here, and I wouldn't say there's no way that I received racism. We had an African in the group, and he definitely received racism. But for me to be blasting out Bob Marley, walking down the street, as you used to with the ghetto blasters and whatnot, the amount of stick I got, it was sort of like, go back to listening to your own music, cut your hair, and all this. You get all the jib, but it didn't bother me.
All those people that listened to ska in 1979.
Exactly that. But it didn't bother me. It's obviously my love. If you went back to 16, when I was 16, living with my mum and dad, my whole bedroom, I had a small single box room, but my whole bedroom was covered in Bob Marley flags and everything. I was kind of religious in as much as I wouldn't even listen to hip-hop, because it had some sweary words in there, and it also had derogatory terms for female.
Very misogynistic. Yep. Early hip-hop was very misogynistic.
Yeah, definitely. It was better. It was promoted big. It was promoted big, definitely. Yeah. But that all kind of got put on pause when I said to myself, I'm in this town, and it's dead end. There's nothing happening here apart from me. Yeah, in as much as I'm thinking that, I want to do this. Yeah. I want to do it, but I've got to go to a city to do it. And where else, or where best? Manchester.
Yep.
Yeah. So on my 17th birthday, it was literally booked a ticket on the coach for an 11-hour coach ride all the way up to Manchester.
What age were you at that particular point? Then people can work at what age you are now.
Yeah, 17.
So what year was that?
So this is the bit. That would have been 96, 97.
You were in Manchester in 1996.
I was in Manchester.